And well, the British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has said that the UK's national election will not coincide with local polls, therefore ruling out May 2nd as the election day. And with that, the Conservative leader has put a full stop on a number of speculations. Earlier this year, the British Prime Minister suggested that the general election will take place in the second half of 2024. This ignited several rumours in Westminster. The most prominent one was the number 10 is preparing to dissolve Parliament before the end of March. Reports claim that the UK is unlikely to hold a poll on any other day in May. This is due to the logistical difficulties of organising two sets of elections, I beg your pardon. Earlier, Sunak was reluctant to specify a general election date, but opposition political parties tried their best to provoke Sunak into holding one. Opposition Labour Party claims the Conservatives are afraid to lose majority of their seats if they enter into a poll in May. Sunak must hold a general election by January next year, when the UK Prime Minister has the power to call one before then. In order to do so, the Prime Minister has to first ask King Charles III to shut Parliament. In case Sunak does so, the authorities would need to prepare and hold the general elections 25 days later. The Conservative Party is already struggling in opinion polls. They predict Sunak will lose the election, this as the Labour maintains a 20-point lead.
20,000 people from this country back to their home.
And joining us is Stuart Smith from London for the very latest on the election dates that have been postponed. And well, Stuart, tell us a little bit about the thinking behind this delay in the elections, clearly one of those being, of course, the unpopularity of Sunak himself.
Yeah, just a bit of clarity first, because it's not the case that everywhere in the world where there's a parliamentary democracy, the Prime Minister could decide when the election happens. But the way here in the UK it's meant to work is there has to be an election within a 5-year period, but it's up to the Prime Minister and the government of the day to call it when they would like to, which of course, as you can understand, for a government that wants to get the best result possible, means they will try to time it when they think they'll get that best result. Now, the Conservatives are 20 percentage points behind the main opposition party, the Labour Party, and so they're really trying to make the best of a bad situation. And there was some talk that perhaps May would in fact be a better date. Sure, they're behind, but things may only get worse, with, for example, asylum seekers more likely to make the crossing over the English Channel to England when the summer weather makes that easier to do. There's also now all of these accusations from the opposition parties that he's running scared of an election and that he's holding the country hostage by not having that election, when clearly the opposition parties say the constituents want a new government. But the advisers in the Conservative Party suggest there may be an economic upturn over the course of the year, and they'll better be able to pitch Rishi Sunak as somebody that has made tangible achievements during his time in office. So what this means, that date ruled out. We're no necessarily closer to knowing exactly which date it will be, but most people now talking about October or November as the most likely candidates. But it doesn't mean it couldn't happen even in April. It could still happen in spring or in summer.
Right.
So by no means the final word.
Right, Stuart. Thanks very much indeed for joining us with the very latest there. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.